I was in another pastor's meeting down south. I think it was Charlotte, 250 pastors. I was in the room and this pastor comes over very excitedly. I need to shake your hand. I mean, I got to shake your hand. Well, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. He says, I got to tell you my story. And he lives in Germany. He said, my son came into the study one week as I was preparing for that weekend's message. And he came up to me and said, I want you to agree with me for a PlayStation 2. He said, what? He said, well, I got these CDs by Gary Cassie. I don't know how he's only like 10, 12 years old. I mean, maybe 12. I don't know how he got my CDs in Germany. I don't know. But he had them, and his dad didn't know he had them. Maybe a friend, I don't know. He's listening to these CDs, and he says, I'd like to have a PlayStation 2, Dad, and I want to sow for that, and I want to call it done according to Mark 11:24. I want to believe God for a PlayStation 2. His dad said, all right, I'll agree with you. So they prayed and they agreed, and the next day a guy called the dad and said, is your son available? I need some work done today. And he did the work, and he got the money that day, and he paid cash for his PlayStation 2. Now that kind of changed his mindset, right? Just like Peter, James, and John, they were so astonished, they left everything. They saw a different system operate. He saw a system operate. So 2 weeks later, he comes back to his dad and says, I want you to agree with me for one more thing. What's that? I want you to agree with me for muscles. His dad said, well, wait a minute, that's going to take, you're going to be involved with that. I said, I know, Dad, I know. I'm going to believe God for muscles. He said, all right. They agreed. They prayed. The next morning, a station wagon pulls into the driveway. He recognizes it's a member of their church, comes to the front door and says, hey, we are cleaning the garage out, and I just thought maybe your son might want this set of barbells that I haven't used for all these years that were just sitting in my garage. I brought them by, just thought maybe he might like them. Now, this pastor here in South Carolina looked at me and says, that's when I told my son, give me those CDs.